I watched the podcast the other day, and I was like, yeah, man, this is funny. This is really making me feel like I'm chilling with these guys right now, you know, having a couple beers and stuff. So
right on.
I was like, hell yeah, hopefully they're down to have me on.
Hell yeah, super down. When did you get the chain? I don't know. I just saw it's brand new.
The chain, yeah, bro. So Rocky and Lalo blessed me with this chain, man. Just it was like, I should say, like 3 weeks ago or so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just been kind of keeping it, you know, low key a little bit. You know, it's, I don't know. I'm not into like big chains and stuff like that, but what this represents, you know, for what we are, you know, it's important.
For sure.
And do you got like a different like type of swagger? Like once you put that thing on, like you feel like you kind of want to go a little extra harder, not in a cocky way or anything, you know, but want to go a little extra harder.
You know, like like repping, like you know, the crew and stuff like that. Like I do like appreciate it, and like people ask, you know, they'll be like, hey man, what's that? And I'm like, you know, I feel proud to be able to let them know what it is and what we're working with. So I mean, in a sense, but I'm still the same person, you know, with or without it, you know.
Of course.
It's not like I'm start spinning some crazy bars, you know, that I do put it on or something.
No, but I asked because as a kid, I mean, we all pretended to be rappers. You know what I mean? And I mean, for you to have an actual chain. Like, we didn't go to the swamp meet or anything, you know what I mean, to go get a death row chain or a no limit chain. Like, that's actually what you're running with. So, like, to me, like, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man, it was dope, you know, when they gave it to me, you know, because I've been, you know, with the squad for, like, about a good solid year now. And,
right on.
You know, like, for them, you know, to basically, you know, take me into consideration like that and be like, you know what, you deserve this.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It was important. It was really dope.
But you do gotta flex every now and then. Like you're ordering at the stand, at the taco stand. You just go. You have it like over your chin. Oh what? Oh this? No. Let me get the pastor. Let me get a couple of lengua.
Yeah,
you got flex a little.
And for those who might not be able to see it on camera, but it says Pura Vida. What is that? What is that? Anyways, like
so Pura Vida is basically the homies had already started the label before I joined. They were already together for like, I should say about like 4 years. They had came up with the name Pura Vida, you know, it's just basically pure life, you know, living it, you know, the right way, you know, not necessarily without, you know, vices or anything like that, but just the way that is, you know, pure to oneself. And so, the homies had already started that. I ended up joining with them, you know, like I said, about a year ago. But to me, you know, it's basically teamwork, man. It's like working together as a team, as a family, to be able to, you know, help each other out with our goals and all of the accomplishments that we want to get to.
Right on.
That's what I think it is for me.
That's super dope.
It is.
And you got a show tonight, right? Do you get nervous at all or anything, or just excited, or?
You know, man, I get kind of like I get anxious, but not like anxiety. You know, like I get anxious, like where I'm like ready. Like I wish it was already that time. I wish it was already, you know, ready for us to just be on stage. You know, sometimes it's I guess it could get, you know, a little bit nerve wracking. You know, depending how many how many people are in the audience and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's like the more and more you do it, you kind of just look forward to it. And it's like I said, you're like anxious to already be on stage and start getting at it.
And I'm sure. How is it like when, like, say the crowd really isn't like feeling it or stuff like that, or like the crowd really ain't paying attention at that time, you know? How does that affect your performance?
You know, and the cool thing is, man, that sometimes it could only be a couple of people.
Yeah.
But we know how to make the people interact.
Right.
You know, so it's like even I haven't really had a show where they're not feeling it. You know, it's like you find the way. As an artist, you got to find the way to make sure that, you know, the people, at least if it's two of them, that they're captured by what you're doing right there.
And that's exactly why you do what you do.
In the rehearsals, like I appreciate like how much passion you have. Even in the rehearsals, you'll close your eyes and you'll feel it. And it's like if you're on stage, I appreciate. I think.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, thank you, bro. I think it's important. Like I said, in that aspect, it's like it doesn't matter who's there. It's like 'cause it could just be me by myself in the studio, and I'm still feeling it. How I'm gonna do it the day that I'm performing it, you know.
How's that competition like when you're probably performing with other folks as well? Maybe they come before you or after you. How's that like? Do you kind of have like a mental competition with the other people? Like
you know what, to me, like it's important. I mean, I always want to be, you know, of course, I want everybody to think that my set is the best, but something that I think is really important, I like to see what other artists are going to be performing as well, to try to give a good show. You know, it's like I don't want to like overdo it and go like super lyrical miracle, you know. If the show is really gonna be like a vibey kind of dancey show, I want to give people like, you know, depending on that. But I mean, something that I've always, you know, thought of is like I always want to make it hard if I'm going on first. You know, it's like if I'm going first, I want to make sure that I set the level up.
Yeah, that's big.
Really high.
Yep.
So
is there any stories that stick out to you, like in the green room or like before or after a show or something?
oh man, let me tell you about my first show that I did.
Oh yeah.
So and I haven't been performing that long. It's been like maybe 3 years now that I've been performing. The homegirl is, shout out to her. She ended up signing me up basically for a show with the homegirl Phoenix Child, and
Name drop.
so yeah, cause shout out to them, bro, and you know their performance. So that's what I'm giving them their props and their roses, you know. But so they ended up putting me on that show. My first show, I was like, I got this. I don't need to rehearse. I'm cool. You know, started drinking, whatever, thinking I was cool, smoking heavy. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
First song, my voice fucking went out because I wasn't used to it. I was like kind of yelling and stuff, you know, thinking that it's like, oh, how I do it without a microphone,
Right.
And so it really fucked me up. And then like after that, you know, I was like, all right, I really need to take this shit seriously because there wasn't that many people watching me and everything. But I'm like, if I really want to, you know, at least start getting paid for shows or start going to the next level, I need to take this like a professional, you know, and not just be fucking around every single time thinking that it's gonna be easy like that.
Hell yeah.
Does your mind state change like from like a normal, like being in a normal, you know, whatever, going to work and stuff like that, or do you turn off and on when it comes to entertainment and stuff like that?
It's not really, man. Like it's always the same because even while I'm working, I'm still kind of in my head. I'm like, okay, what do we need to do? Like, I'm still messaging people, still doing the same thing. You know, there's not really any time to be like, okay, here's my 9 to 5. I'm not thinking about music, working on music. Here's my music time. It's like, it's constantly always like on for me. You know, the creative process is different though. The creative process, it's obviously kind of hard for me if I got a bunch of shit going on at work.
Yeah.
But you know, when it comes down to, I guess, like the business side of things, like I'm never shutting it off, you know, and sometimes some friends are like, man, like give it a break. And I'm like, the thing is that you don't understand. Like this is when I have more time to worry about music and stuff, that's when I'm like doing it more. I'm like, so I don't know. It's
if you put that work in, eventually you're gonna get to the point where you have that free time or some time to set aside to do other things other than grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you gotta grind until you get to that next level.
Yeah.
Right? There's people that grind like, oh man, I'm grinding so hard, but they don't put the effort into getting above that plateau. And if you're stuck at that plateau and you're just grinding on that plateau, you're just stuck at that plateau. But you're grinding, you get to that next spot, then you see the view and you're like, it looks pretty good from here, but what does it look like up there? You know what I mean? Then you go up to the next level, keep going.
Right.
So,
what about work? This is a question to all you guys. What about at work? What do you daydream about the most, or when you're at work, or like what? I don't know.
getting the fuck off work.
I feel like when you're at work though, like your mind goes somewhere else. Like other than work, sometimes like I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean shit. You go on autopilot sometimes too. You just like. True. You fucking look at the clock and you're like, whoa, shit, it's already been 4 hours since I've been here. Like, holy fuck, you're just on autopilot. You just do, you know what I mean? Doing the routine, you're in the rat race or whatever. But I like thinking about shit. That's why I listen to shit while I work because I have a driving job. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I drive from destination to destination. I get out and do the services and stuff too, but the whole time I got my AirPods in. I'm listening to other podcasts. I'm listening to music, whatever I feel like listening to. And that kind of feels like I'm getting a small break from the tediousness of my job, you know what I mean? And I know, like, Adam, you do, like, mostly on the computer and stuff, right?
Yeah, software engineering.
So how's it with you? Like, what do you usually do to kind of take your mind off of work sometimes?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm listening to podcasts all the time. And, you know, usually I'm just trying to figure out ways to get better because, I mean, in the industry that I'm in, you got to kind of stay ahead of the times. Yeah. So it's probably there's a competitive part to it as well, kind of to where music's at, you know, you got to always stay ahead. Yeah. You got to always stay grinding. So I kind of like put that into my job as well. And, you know, I'll try to be, you know, the best that I can. And, you know, if I have to learn every night, then I'm studying up, man.
Yeah. Right. And then what do you do?
As of late, I've been listening to podcasts. I've always listened to sports podcasts, Cowboys podcasts and stuff. But fantasy football and podcasting. And now that I've gotten actually going with you guys, I've been doing what Adam's doing, you know, just watching other podcasts, seeing what other podcasts are doing. How are they interacting? You know what I mean? What they do. And that's usually what I do with my free time when I'm at work.
Right. And there's some cool local podcasts out here too. Like I listen to those. All the local ones. So many of them, but there's some dope ones I listen to and stuff. And I know Gloco's been on quite a few, but you do a driving job too, right?
Yeah, man. Actually, I do... I guess it's design, like construction designs for one of the major data companies here in Utah. So I go around kind of just gathering a lot of like power pole information, getting a lot of footages, and then doing the designs for buildings.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, man, it gives me a lot of time too to like. I drive around, and honestly, like the more and more like with that question, then now that I think about it, with me driving around like that, it makes me kind of want to own properties and stuff like that, and be like, you know what, give the opportunities for like people to start their businesses and stuff like that, like. You know, some clubs or maybe even like studio space or like I don't know, whatever. But
staying in a car confined like that, I don't know. Does it get to you guys, or do you use the back massagers, the beaded ones, or something?
You know, I don't really get that. Like, I got friends that I work with that do the same job as me, and they have to have like not like a support, right? Like back support or shoulder support. I don't have that problem, so thankfully, I'm just driving around, but it does get tedious. Sometimes you get tired of being in that damn van.
Is it hard to find a meal or the bathroom or something?
Yeah, especially like, I mean, what I drive is a big ass fucking van, right? Yeah. And so some drive-thrus I had to learn, like I can't go to that fucking drive-thru restaurant because it's a little too low.
It's a fucking Marshall White van.
Yeah. Or the curb's a little bit too like curved, so I can't go there because I'll fucking hit the rim and shit, So I've been going to certain joints that I know I can get through in and out, like easily and shit like that. But bathrooms, bro, public bathrooms. I got some fucking stories I could tell you. Oh my God.
Why do they have public bathrooms if they're always out of service? On purpose. Bro, it's like, come on, man. The other day I had to tell a guy, like, bro, you know what? I really need to use your bathroom. If not, I'm gonna piss outside of the store. Like, and he's like, all right. I'm like, I told you, this shit's not out of order, bro. Like, you guys are just like, I get you. Like, I'm not gonna go and do anything. Like,
I think it's COVID times. COVID times. I think
probably something like that too. Last year for sure, like 2020, it was very hard to get into a public bathroom in some areas because of that reason.
Yeah.
But even like the fucking craziest thing I've ever seen, and it's been twice. Yeah. Thank God for Ogden, right? But I'd go into a fucking bathroom, bro, and a guy's camping out in there. He's got. And I went in one time, bro. This was not too recent. I think I told you about this, Rome. I go there, and this is in North Ogden, and that's a place that's not really like a bunch of hobos and shit. It's usually inner city Ogden. But I'm up there in North Ogden. I go into the bathroom. This one I go to frequently. I'm in that route or whatever. Mm-hmm. I go up in there. Dude's laid out on the floor. He's laid out asleep, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, hopefully he's asleep. Hopefully this motherfucker's not dead and I just came in on a dead body, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try to, like, walk around him because I'm not trying to, like, nudge him. I'm not a fucking... you guys seen those people that, like, try to play... They watch too many fucking Rescue 911 shows and shit and they start pumping a motherfucker's chest. I'm not going to do that shit. Like, you know what I mean? If he's going to be with the Lord, then God bless him.
You're just trying to do your thing.
I'm just trying to take a piss, dog.
He's all treated like Tupac did Bernie Mac on above the rim.
So I just go to walk around him and I go take a piss. The dude like wakes up like, oh shit, he goes into the bathroom, right? Shuts the stall, and I was like, yo, sorry, homie, I'm just here to take a piss. Like, I'll be done real quick. He's, oh, no, you're good. Just, you're good, no worries. And then a fucking beer can rolls out from underneath the stall, and I'm like, this motherfucker lives here. Like, he's kicking it. He's just in there drinking. He probably took a couple Xannies. He's on Zanny Island, chilling on the floor.
Wakes up all cockeyed.
That's happened to me twice. I've had that. Not he was passed out. The other dude was just chilling in the stall, and fucking, I could hear him putting beer cans down.
Cut slow Bluetooth radio going and shit.
He's kicking in there. There's some oldies kicking it and shit in there.
So yeah, let's go to like first jobs or like, I don't know, either odd jobs or stuff that we've done like from, anything that you guys remember that you did from early on or anything, or like...
Bro, my very first job, well, I mean, our grandma owned a business. Yeah, she had a janitorial business, so that was like my first job, like, was getting paid under the table just to go throw trashes and shit.
Wasn't that how all of our first jobs were? It was like something like that under the table. We were probably getting cut a lot of money, you know?
Oh shit!
Hey, but when it's your grandma, she ain't trying to break you off no good because you're the grandkids. You guys should be doing this shit for free.
That shit out.
That's how they think.
I'll stretch that shit out. I'll stretch that $350 out. She'd give me like a month or whatever. Mm-hmm. Fucking, I had a cricket phone. Yeah. You know what I mean? I had a couple outfits to go to the skating rink in. Yeah. Everybody was like, damn, how's he got a phone and shit? Like, oh, no worries, baby. Let me buy your nachos today.
Straight nachos. Get double cheese.
Double cheese. That was an extra 75 cents.
For real, though.
Anything frustrates you about your job or anything like that?
What was your first job?
My first job, so it's funny. name dropping, Kevin Madrigal. He and I both started working for a telemarketing company. And if you're in the Utah area, you probably know of this company called Focus.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Bro, we thought we were the shit. Like, we went in there, we were about to get our jobs.
Some shit.
Bro, we were gonna fucking, we were gonna do big. And it was right behind the mall. So
I remember.
during our lunches, bro, we'd go to our mall. We'd go
Yeah.
to the mall, hit that up, and you know,
I felt like
do whatever.
adults.
Yeah, bro. But as soon as it came down to doing actual fucking work and selling shit, bro, I was trash at that shit, bro. Fucking, I didn't last like a week there, bro, man. I bounced.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah, dude. I remember getting that check though, getting some Air Forces. I was like,
Yeah.
What was your first job, sir?
Loft House.
Oh, your very first
Yeah,
job?
first job, Loft House.
Packing them cookies.
5:15. I was mixing frosting. Yeah, I had that big ass frosting tote trying to push that shit to the line. They had like some ceramic brick, so it was slippery. You know, I was like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? And the Asian lead was on me. On me, you know. I was like, hey, bro, I'm from the States. I almost put out my social security card on his ass. You know?
Yep.
Man, that first break came around, and like Bernie Mac said, I broke. I broke.
Yep.
I was gone.
What's your Gloco?
Fuck, man. My first job was at an ice factory called Summit Ice. I don't think they're around anymore. They got I think they got bought out by like Ready Ice or some shit. But nah, man, that place was tight. It was I'd get all the free ice that I wanted. Like
Hell yeah.
so
Hell
during
yeah.
the summertime, big ass parties.
That's a luxury.
That's like, yeah, I'm like
Underrated.
yeah, man.
There's always gotta be somebody who brings the ice, you know?
Yeah.
A fucking family barbecue or
I
something.
got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Nico, pick up the ice.
Yeah.
We need ice.
It's always ice too.
Any food spots or food spots that y'all know of right now? Like, have you ever been to Greek Garden in the Newgate Mall? Since you said you drive out here to Ogden sometimes to
Greek Garden, no, but you know,
the Newgate Mall,
bro, you know where I was actually gonna go to, and I just saw that it was being renovated. There's like this place called Celia's Kitchen or something. It's a really low key like spot right on Wall Avenue.
Is it by the Tanner Transmission place?
Yep, right
Yeah, I
next
know
door to
exactly
it.
what
Right
you're
next
talking
door
about.
to it.
Yeah.
This is fire,
Bro, yeah, I was trying to go and I saw that they're fucking like renovating it. I hope that they're just renovating it. They're not
Right.
like I was like,
Is that the only area that you're by when you drop through here?
oh no, man, I go like all the way around.
Okay, if
to-
you're
to-
ever up by Monroe, you should try the Pollo Rico.
Oh, that's just
Yeah, it's pretty fire. They're crisp tacos.
Yep. Fire.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, what's that? Casa de Nenas, right?
Oh
yeah. Casa de Nenas, you want that good
Fire,
birria,
bro.
the good birria tacos. You know what I mean?
You know what? Shout out to the homie DJ Juggy. He just barely put me on to these Ogden beers. So it's from the owners of Javier. It's called Lupus, and it's spelled like ZOUL.
Oh wow, Javier got some beer, huh?
I didn't
Yeah,
even know
man.
about that.
Wow.
So yeah, I was like, damn,
Yeah.
for real. And I tried a couple of them. They were pretty fire. So
That's kind of funny too, because me and my fiance, we were just driving earlier, and I had just noticed that the Javier's are only located in the white areas, and I had joked because I was like, the one in the hood's gone, and I was like, only the white people can have that shit. I mean,
it's because it's it's not
Right.
as authentic.
Yeah.
Right, it's not as authentic, so it's perfect. I mean, I appreciate his hustle.
Yeah.
I want to check the
Because,
beers out, though.
The beers, yeah,
I wanna
that's
check that out.
that's pretty crazy. That's pretty. I didn't know that.
I want to see what that's like.
Any good drunken stories? We all drink, right? You guys all drink?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we all drink. We all drink.
Yeah, let's tell
Asking a Hispanic if he drinks like asking a fish if he swims in water.
Okay, after high school, Ben Lomond, we were all walking down the hill, all of us.
Yep.
We stopped at the store, and we go steal Boone's Farms.
Oh my God.
Smirnoff Ice, right at the corner.
Badass kids.
Go steal that alcohol. We're walking down the street some more. We're on Washington. We still got a couple more blocks to hit. So we get down to the main road right below Wall, and we see this garage. They're partying. And I was pretty wild. Like I was spontaneous, and I still am, but not as bad.
Right.
But I don't know what told me to do it, but they sound like they were a bunch of douches in there just partying,
Right.
So I probably had like maybe a half a motherfucking Smirnoff. I'm a young Thundercat, feeling good.
Yep.
I go in that dude's Jeep because he got the open up Jeep. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
A douchebag written all over it. I shit you not, and you guys can vouch for me. I took a shit in the dude's seat.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Took a shit in the dude's seat. Took off my white beater, and I wiped my ass and put on a steering wheel. Yeah,
That's pretty spontaneous.
Spontaneous as fuck.
Bro, imagine that guy.
Spontaneous as fuck.
Imagine that guy seeing this, hearing that story. He's like, dude, that's the fucking guy.
That's
dude.
the guy!
He's the one that shit in my van, man. Dude, that Jeep was giving
Yeah.
me my dog.
I don't know
Yeah.
why I did it. Don't know why I did it. I didn't even smoke weed back then.
That's
I
the
just
fucking
the
guy.
alcohol.
And now his hairline's receding. Like he had the long flowing hair, but now he's like 50. His hairline's receding a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got the Hulk Hogan going, dude, all this time.
Any pranks at the parties or something? Like people would, like I had a friend that pissed in a beer.
Oh
like,
fuck, we were all there for that.
Froze it and then had a chick drink it.
Oh,
that was
man.
so
Like,
fucked
drinking
up.
and have one person drinks the most of it and.
Nah, you know what I have done though? And this is kind of fucked up, but I mean, we didn't do anything like hella wrong, but it goes to show is like some people fucking take whatever. But we got a bottle of Douce and we killed the bottle of Douce. And then I pulled up to a party, but I put fucking Evan Williams in it, which is like a fucking $13 bottle and shit. And so we're like, fuck yeah, you guys want some? We're like, you know, the whole like, the way you give the girls a shot. You're like, here, hold on.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this shit was fire.
Yeah, we're getting fucked up.
That's what it used to just be about, like getting fucked up. Like, you know,
It was.
get trashed.
The vodka
and shit.
bottle with the eagle on it.
Yeah.
Just straight wine, straight wine on both
With the McCormick clip.
You guys remember Hypnotic too? Hypnotic was the shit, bro.
Name drop.
Hypnotic
Shout out to
Hennessy.
cousin Fernando.
Yeah, bro.
We were getting a bottle from cousin Fernando almost every weekend, huh?
Yep, that Hypnotic,
hell,
man.
no.
Who made it popular? I think like Chameleonaire made Hypnotic
Chameleonaire.
Well,
popular.
Tupac had the Hulk.
He had the whole, that's what I was about to say. He
Yeah, I
did
was
bring out the Incredible Hulk.
I was gonna say it was the older homies that got me on Hypnotic, you know, because it was either Alizé or they had a bottle of
That's
Hypnotic
true,
at the
yep.
party, and I was like 13, 14 to see the older homies bring that in. I'm like, what's that blue stuff? That looks good as fuck. Let me have some of that shit. And then we got older and we was like, yeah, Hypnotic, you know, or Mad Dog 2020 when we can get a hold of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Idaho.
someone to Idaho or Wendover and get a. Oh my god!
You'll quickly learn that it's like, damn, those aren't that good for you. It's like,
that shit will fuck you up. All sugar and liquor. That's it. Pure sugar. and
Hangover
liquor.
City.
With Passion, it's only champagne and Alizé or something, or it's something.
Oh, he
simple,
says it
right?
on the record.
Okay. Yeah,
He says on the record, I can't remember, it's 1 part's Alizé, 2 parts Cristal, and then something else.
Ain't nobody drinking.
Yeah.
I remember getting
That
40s of
thug
OE
passion.
and shit, fucking being like, oh hell yeah, this is what they fucking do,
Uh,
you know, old
yeah.
English. Fuck, worst hangovers ever off the
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That shit was
terrible.
bad.
Yep, drinking. Shout out to Paul, who was on a couple episodes of this podcast. Me and him used to get fucked up on 40s.
Yeah.
Like, especially when we got of age and me and him would just kick it.
Yeah.
We go to the fucking gas station and get a fucking 40 ounce of some Miller High Life, bro. And just sit back and fucking drink that, play some 2K, and just get fucked up.
Did you guys ever see the what was it called? The Edward 40 Hands?
I see like they would have to tape them and shit.
Yeah.
40.
I can't even name drop, but he went to Highland. I actually seen his thumb get frostbite from it.
Oh shit!
Yeah. His thumb was black until I graduated with him.
That's some cold beers.
Yeah, cold as fuck, ice cold.
That's
I was like, why was he drinking it?
That's the only shit you see on the Coors Lights commercials with the fucking cold train.
The cold train.
Grab one of those bad boys, get frostbite.
What did y'all bump when you was younger? Like, let's go to you, 'cause music, right?
Yeah.
Shit. Man, younger, you know, it was kind of and it's funny because you guys talked about this too, and it was that weird thing where we were like, I always loved hip hop and I loved rock and roll also, and so it was like always kind of that difference where it was like in school people would be like, oh well, what are you? Are you like a skater or are you a fucking like gangster dude or like what the fuck?
You're rocker
It was like
fool.
yeah, and I'm like what the fuck? I just like music, man. So like
Rocker
you know
fool.
I like Linkin Park a lot, bro. Like Linkin Park
Hey,
was
yeah.
really dope. It fucking
Yeah.
you know it was tight and it made me like I feel like when I started listening to them. I was like, man, fuck what everybody thinks about music and shit. It's like, this is dope to me. You can make music however
It's
the fuck
important to
you
have
wanna
music
make it.
ears. It
Yeah,
is.
man. It's like, do whatever the fuck you want to do.
And if you were alive at
It's
that
like,
time, and not only alive, but like enough to realize like Linkin Park was big.
Yeah.
fuck yeah,
It
bro.
was big.
Fuck yeah.
And
It was big.
They had that, you know, that fucking hard heavy metal with the lead singer. Then they had, what was it, Mike Chioda, that rap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chioda's, and he fucking
They
rapped good.
implemented the turntables
Yeah.
and shit too, the scratches and
Changed
everything.
the shit. Like,
Yeah.
and Korn, like, I was a big
Korn
I
was
like
dope
Korn,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
'cause they had
Korn
their,
was
like,
dope.
They had the hip hop drums with heavy metal guitar and then the you know, screamo shit.
And he would still
Right.
kind of rap and stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
So they kind of infused that shit.
I just
'cause
barely
they were
saw an
part of the
interview with
90s.
them.
And speaking of infusing, I know when you rap, one thing that I noticed is you can infuse your flow with the Spanish rapping.
Yeah.
Because the Spanish rapping, when I hear it, and I might just be not listening to a wide variety of it, but it's kind of like mystical. Like they're kind of out there yelling and serving you the punchlines. It's kind of too much for me. But when I was listening to your music, and I'm not just saying this because you're right here, I'm being dead honest. But when I listened to your flow, you had like that like that current flow that everybody's hip and urban and vibing to right now, mixed with that Mexican that Spanish coming in, not Mexican, my bad, that Spanish coming in, and it's just amazing how you was able to do that, because for one thing, besides when I was little, when Chicanos would rap like Spanish Fly, you know, he was just always known to rap in Spanish and shit. But like I said, the current ones, bro, I think it's just amazing how you can infuse that, and that's what caught my attention.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's it's a mixture, you know, like I love that you know, because we'll do a lot of shows that it's just mainly an English speaking audience. Maybe some people that, you know, speak Spanish, but to me it's my favorite thing to make sure that they don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, and they're just already jamming out, and they're like they're feeling it, and then they come up to me and ask me like, hey man, what's that song about? You know, I'll explain it to them. But I just love that, you know, it's like a universal language.
Hell yeah.
And then I also like, you know, with the way I say words and things like that, I like to be able to, I kind of like to be well spoken, you know, and like I like to make sure that people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can do different types of songs, you know, but it's like, to me, what's important, if I'm talking about something about my life, I want to make sure that the word is, you know, understandable, you know, that you can hear it, and, you know.
And that's one thing that you do, because every word that you're saying, and I'm not fluent in Spanish. I can have a basic conversation. I'm not fluent. But when I was listening to it, I was like, yeah, you can understand this. You can hear what he's saying. You hear what he's getting at. Punchlines are solid. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I mean, kudos to that, bro. Hats off.
Yeah, it is dope, because I listened to music that you have with Renown and with S and stuff like that, you know, because that's my brother, my cousin.
Shout out to all them.
Yep. Yeah, I heard Gloco on that new EP that S has, Elevated State of Mind. Level Up and the other record you guys have, all three.
Toast.
Yeah, Toast 2. And I was like, oh, this is dope. And then I seen him on a couple other podcasts and on the U92 interview and that Nueva Ascensión song. So I checked it out and I was like, this is dope. Because it got that like guitar. Yeah, it's got that guitar feel. The hook is dope and shit like that. But like he said, you have that cadence and that like urban flow, but you're still speaking Spanish.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Where it's not like reggaeton or anything like that, where it's like boom, 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 punchline after punchline. Right. Like, it's sick, bro. It's dope. I like that. Bro. That's something that you stand out having that. So that's really dope, bro.
Yeah. What keeps you from like going that reggaeton route? Because I know a lot of people that's probably more successful in I mean, we see that it's kind of mainstream right now. Like, what keeps you from not going that route? And
bro, we have like, I have a couple of songs recorded that are reggaeton songs. Okay. It's just like like you said it, I don't want to go that route that everybody's doing. You know, I love making music, and I'm not hating on reggaeton. I love reggaeton. There's a lot, you know, I love pretty much every single music or at least every single genre. The thing is that I'd rather keep it something different. It's like, oh, if everybody's doing that, let me go this way, because that might be the thing that's gonna hit. You know what I mean? Yeah. At the same time, like, we know what people like. So like, I started focusing more on Spanish music because people started fucking more with my Spanish music. So I'm like, all right, let me go into that lane. You know, sorry. You know, we want to make this a career. But at the same time, we don't want to like, you know, lose that passion that we have for music, sure. You know? Yeah. And if the only thing that we're chasing is just the streams, just what's popular, then we're never gonna be happy about it.
You'll end up like Flow Rider.
You're just gonna you know, go with the flow, which that's like a phrase. I know it's popular and shit like that, but a book that I read, the fucking thing that popped to me was the guy said people want to go with the flow, but only dead fishes go with the flow. Salmon swim upstream. Wow, yeah. They swim upstream to have their eggs in a better area, right? Yeah. So if you're really grounded, you really want to like get to that best place, that, you know, next plateau, you got to swim upstream, bro. You can't go with the flow. Yeah, that's great. I like that. You know, you're not going with the flow, bro. You're going against the tide. So that's how you got to do it.
Yeah, that's a good example to put it also, man, as a, you know, a good, you know, metaphor. But yeah, man, it's like I said, you know, we make music, or at least me personally, I make music for myself, like for passion. I enjoy when people enjoy my music also, but at the same time, it's you know, if we wanted to go that route, we would be approaching it a whole different way. And I have a lot more like love for things that happen organically in the way that it builds up than, you know, to just do something because it's cool in the moment and it might give me a lot of popularity or whatever, but it's only just for that moment. It's not, you know, something organic that's gonna, you know, continue with you forever. That's why with like shows, I always say it in the shows, I feel like is where I'm able to actually capture like fans, you know, and you know, make them more than even fans. It's like, you know what, we built that relationship. It's different than you hearing my song one time. This is you physically seeing me, seeing everything that I'm putting into it, and then after we can talk to each other and we can, you know, communicate. I feel like that's what builds, you know, better, you know, I guess artist fan relationship.
That's so true, and that's dope that you have that mindset, that mentality, because there's a lot of people that are just chasing what's popular, or they're just chasing like what's going to get me the most, you know, right now. Right. Where like when you do break it, and if you do break it, it's going to be because you put what you had into it, and it's going to break because of what you put in. You know what I mean? Not what you took from something else. Right. So I think that's super dope.
There's no expectations at that point. You know, it's like what I give. That's you know, that's what it is. You know,
and you gotta have a good time doing it. I think that's why like we do the podcast too, because it's like we're hanging out, we're having fun. Yeah. Like, we don't really expect much out of it. Right. But, like I don't know, I appreciate like, you know, seeing you guys. Yeah. Same. And everything. So,
same. It's been great. To a lot of different things. It's been great because, you know, like everybody that has like friends through high school or whatever, right? Yeah. You like kind of break away from that because you start hanging out more people at work or just whoever's around you in life because you're raising a family and stuff like that. So I mean, I love these guys right here because I've, you know, known them my whole life basically, and this gives me a chance to hang out with them, even if it's for a little bit and film something, right? True. But at least we're hanging out.
We get to feel young again.
We're bringing that bond back. You can feel it, man. You can feel it. Like I said, when I was watching you guys, I was like, damn, this feels cool, and now it's happening, you know. But it's like, and I was like, I felt like I was chilling right there with you guys, and you guys are all talking, you know each other, you know. So it works out good, man. You guys got some good stuff going.
And now he's chilling with us.
Now he's kicking with us. Did you get nervous or anything? Because we're super happy that you know came on board and you're staying on board and everything. But like, did you feel nervous or anything? And then is it gone down, or I don't know.
Yeah, and stuff. For sure. The first day I did it, I was pretty nervous. But I think like after every week, I'm kind of like learning. I'm rewatching the episodes, which is pretty hard because I hate my fucking voice. I think everybody hates it.
I think you know? Everybody does.
But like I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, I said too much this episode. I need to calm down on that. Or, you know, just little things that I pick up. And I think over the time now I'm like kind of getting in the groove and I feel more comfortable being here. And now I can actually enjoy it because once I'm comfortable, now I can enjoy what it's meant for rather than like me trying super hard to do something or be a certain way. Yeah. Where now I'm good with you guys. You guys are my friends, you know, we're comfortable around each other and, you know, we come here and it's natural.
Yep. It is. It just comes along.
Any big news when it comes to like friends or family or something like that? I don't know. I know it's kind of a random question, but like anything going on.
Shout out to my brother. He just got married last month.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bachelor party, wedding, everything. Yeah, shout out to him and his wife.
And any stories? Was it a success? That you said you had a lot of people sleep over and stuff?
Yeah, man. So we had a bunch of people over. You know, it's always like, it's fun, but at the same time, it can get, you know, a little bit hectic. You know, it's like, oh, damn.
Did you guys have familia come in from out of state?
Yeah, man, from out of state, out of the country, you know, from Mexico and stuff like that. It was a success, man. I think the most important part, my brother and his wife, you know, they ended up having a good time. They ended up enjoying everything. So, you know, it was good. And then it's always cool, you know, getting together with the family and stuff to, you know, just, I guess, celebrate. But I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet, you know, when everybody starts leaving. But at the same time, it's like, all right, cool, I can kind of chill out for a little bit.
Go back to my day-to-day.
Do you have any responsibilities or anything?
In a way, we chipped in like on the alcohol, the bartenders and stuff like that. We all always try to, you know, no matter who's getting married, like, all right, we'll try to help you out on this. But it was more just little things, you know, making sure all the families, you know, accommodated and, you know, oh, go buy this, go get that, you know, things like that. Making sure that the beer doesn't run out the whole time, you know?
That's the thing about Hispanic weddings though, bro, especially like Mexican culture, right? Like the padrinos have to pay for certain things, you know what I mean? The bridesmaids are involved in helping with paying certain things and stuff. And that's carried on even into like Mexican American culture. Like when you got married, that was the thing. Like we all had to chip in. We all had our portion of the pie, right? Where from what I know, like from people who are not like in Hispanic culture and stuff like that, they just pay for everything. They're like expected to pay for their own shit, pay for their venue, pay for the plates for everybody to come through, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not that, you know, people don't do that, but at least the bridesmaids and the bridegrooms have like a responsibility because like we all can't, like, shit, you think about it, when our fucking great grandparents, you know what I mean, were getting married in Mexico or El Salvador or wherever it is from Latin America, it was a village, bro. So the whole village was going to go and they all like, I'm going to bring, you know, a pig for you guys to cook. I'm going to bring the drink, you know, I got wine, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's those traditions.
Yeah, that tradition carried into like the culture.
That's usually how it goes too, because when you come empty-handed, you're kind of like, oh shit.
When you show up anywhere, right? Like
when you show up anywhere,
it's like I can't go empty-handed.
Yeah, you can't go empty-handed.
No. Roman. So your wedding. I thought I went to your wedding a couple years ago. It was fun, and I when I you're married to someone that's Asian, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So. Like, what was there anything that she wanted to bring in, like for her tradition, or?
So there's it's called a tea ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
So her her grandmother, she passed.
Oh wow,
yeah. So yeah, we had to like give them tea and like, give the elders tea and like, drink it with them and stuff like that. And I thought it was a very endear.
Is it kind of like like getting their blessing or something?
Yeah,
like
right.
that?
That's actually dope.
It's a respectable thing.
Yeah, highly respectable thing.
Yeah, so it was good, and I had my family there, and we had like a bunch of like little.
Where did you guys do that at?
At her house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was
okay.
It was very important, and
yeah.
It
sounds important, but it's unique. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah, the whole experience. It was kind of like feeling famous for a day. You're wearing, your best thing. You're like, you work out to be in your
It's
best
all about you.
Yeah. I wanted to be about her, but it just felt.
Well,
like
I meant you
famous.
as you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
So it felt like being famous for a day. So it was an interesting thing,
which is why these girls want to get married.
Right.
It's all about that fame for a day.
That's right. Yeah. Which is true. Do you, any serious relationships, or
Nah, man.
Or do you stay focused?
I'm on the spot. Like the team. I'm not. I'm not dating anyone right now.
Yeah.
I'm single. I'm available. But at the same time, it's like I'm really focused on what I want, man. Like I really not saying like in the woman, but as far as like my goals and stuff like that, I'm really focused.
That's
and
cool.
It's in a way sometimes I think like, all right, maybe selfish, but I don't know. I just feel like I won't be able to give somebody my love completely until I feel that satisfaction for myself and be like, you know what, I'm good. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, I mean, you're doing a lot of girls a favor. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you be a player, but you're doing them a favor.
If you're not fully invested.
So that's very unselfish of you.
That's dope because there's too many dudes.
If you ever did get famous or did come into some money, let's say you had $50,000 disposable cash. You already took care of a house, whatever. What are you blowing it on? And what are you doing with that fame? That attention?
Damn, like I said, if I was to blow it on something, I would definitely buy like some sort of property.
Yeah,
like,
you already bought property.
Oh, like if I was to blow it on something, like honestly, I would go like on a vacation with my family or something.
Yeah.
Like
where?
I'd go like. You know what I really want to go, man?
Yeah.
I haven't gone to is El Salvador.
Okay.
I want to go to El Salvador really bad, and I want to, because I can go by myself, and but I want to go with my family.
Of course,
go
back to the land.
Salvadorian, right?
Yeah, half.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's important. That's important to you.
I've never been, man. I've been to Mexico. You know what it is that mostly all of our family's already here. They're in California and stuff.
Yeah. So
it's kind of tough, and because of and I haven't been there, so I don't want to say like, oh, it's dangerous until I've seen it for myself, because danger is everywhere. But
it is.
But it's I do want to go with like somebody that does know the area and stuff like that.
Of
make
course.
sure that we're well taken care of. But yeah, man, I really want to go back. I think it's important. Go there. Yeah. It's important for me to just kind of at least step foot in the land, where my dad's from too,
Yeah. In Mexico or?
Yeah, I've been to Sinaloa.
Oh,
yeah, and like you said, it's important to have somebody to take you. You know what I mean? Because when we went out there, my mom always had somebody with us. You know what I mean? And but don't get me wrong, when we was out there, we wasn't seeing no nautical shit that you see on Netflix and stuff. You know what I mean? Like the only craziest thing that I had seen out there is there was word around the ranchos that there was a guy going around raping girls and older women.
Yeah.
The vulnerable.
Right.
And when we went, I don't even remember we were just leaving Tamasula. I don't remember what the rancho was called. And they pulled up on us and they had like a line of cars stopped, the police there. and they were in the cars with M80s. You know what I mean? They was in there for sure. Yeah, I mean, barrels in our face. My mom even just gave me that look like don't even say nothing.
Were they looking for the rapist?
Yeah.
He's just gonna pop out. He's gonna be in a trunk, just in some fucking
bro.
speedos and shit.
You found me. Well, because they had one guy ramsacking while the other dude just had the rifle
right away.
Yeah, he's gonna look like a rapist. Like he's gonna have like a fucking mullet and shit with the short top, and he's gonna be in a speedo, tiger speedo.
Yeah.
Like, you found me.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
did you ever do any camping out here and stuff like that? And is there any like with the La Rona and everything like that?
Oh my god, bro!
Any tales? Any like ghost stories?
That shit was scary.
I love camping. I love camping. Now you know what's fucking scary though? Fucking just barely. I went camping last year and so we were partying, bro. Like we had a good ass time. So it's like 5 a.m, 6 a.m. The sun's coming up and we're like right next to a river and shit. And so I hear like in the river like.
Oh, shit.
And so I'm thinking, oh shit, it's my homie and he's probably throwing up. And I'm like, bro, at 5, 6 in the morning, the water's freezing. Like, are you good? Like, so I get up and I'm like, yo. And he's like, what up? And he's in the tent next to me. And I was like, wait, what the fuck was that? I look over, there's a big ass moose just walking right next to my fucking tent. I was like, and he's just like, I'm like,
dangerous. Could you hear his hooves?
Yeah, I could hear the water and everything, but I was like, the thing is that the water's going kind of fast, so you hear like the splashing. I could just hear that noise, you know. But the thing, it was a big ass moose and then a smaller one too, like just walking by.
See, that's dangerous as fuck.
Yeah, bro, because they're fucking aggressive.
Yeah, that's dangerous as fuck.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Now that we're getting older and stuff, is there stuff that you want to take up, like fishing or hunting or like?
Yeah, I think being here in Utah, you kind of got to pick things up, or you're gonna get bored pretty quick, man. Especially like in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're not like enjoying the sno, like you probably should get acquainted with it because you're gonna have a bored summer. So yeah, I think I want to get more into like I want to get a pass, you know, go skiing or snowboarding for sure. Get involved.
Are you guys used to the snow and stuff? I mean, since we've been here our whole lives.
To be honest with you, I used to be the one that would be in shorts in the winter. You know me. I'd be in the gym shorts in the winter. Yeah. But now that I've gotten older, I don't fuck with it no more. Not like that. You know what I mean? Not like that. I don't know if it's just because I got older. But yeah, I don't fuck with it like that anymore. I love the snow though. Most people hate snow. I love snow. That shit comes down so fucking beautiful.
I miss sledding, honestly.
Man.
Sledding, yeah.
But we talked about it. We don't get snow like that.
Right.
You go sledding now, you fucking go once or twice on the same route and you're hitting grass.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
I was up in Park City yesterday, and bro, like usually around this time, it's full of snow. There's nothing up
for
there.
sure.
Bro.
That global warming shit's real.
Like there's not really much snow up there. And Park City has high altitude where it should have a lot of snow right now.
I remember being a kid from like the end of October, like after Halloween, it would already start, like you know, getting really cold. By Thanksgiving, bam, there was already snow. Now every year is like less and less.
And it sucks. It really does.
Well, it's like I love fishing. And so it fucks up the water, like, you know, the water levels and shit, man. Like, we're so fucked up here.
Did you guys get I know you haven't, maybe, but did you guys get a chance to see Pineview?
Oh yeah,
what it looks like.
I'm sure
it's way.
Yeah, I've heard stories about it.
I went to Kazi, which is
you went past it then.
Yeah. So I passed by Huntsville and everything, but that shit's fucked up, man.
Yeah,
you know what's cool though? Like at Kazi, because the water levels are low, the fish get trapped at some.
Yeah.
We're like,
you're all on IG with 6 fish.
Just old school with the stick.
Yeah,
like our Mayan ancestors with the loincloth.
Has a whole 6 inches to move around.
Nah, but check it. I mean, at the end they're gonna die anyways, so it's like.
I mean, seriously though.
You know, like,
but like I was saying, you know, when you first get to Pineview, that part of the Pineview, you never used to be able to like be in that area.
Yeah.
When we drove up there was people using that end as a beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like below all the rocks, that was just all straight water. Like that shit was for the boats.
Right.
And now they're using it as a beach. Shit's scary.
Yeah, man.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
It's scary as fuck.
Vegas, like their water level is super
low. Oh yeah,
low.
like the dam, right? The Hoover Dam and Lake Mead and shit. It's like super low. Below.
I went to Mead like the year ago, and it was the same shit. It was so
crazy.
fucked up.
I wasn't what they're gonna do. But.
They gotta shut that fucking Bellagio fucking water show the fuck down. You're taking all the water.
All Are y'all morning people or anything like that? Getting older?
Used to be.
I'm hella a morning person.
I had to become a morning person.
Okay.
I woke up at 4 a.m. today.
Oh shit.
See? Oh, I was up at 4 too, but I just couldn't sleep. I just couldn't sleep.
I
I
had to set an alarm today. I had to set an alarm to wake up at 10 today.
No, I used to be a morning person, but I changed my working shift.
Yeah.
And once I changed my working shift, that just, you know what I mean? Because I used to be the type where 11 o'clock came around, like, shit, I'm ready to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, but now it's like, you know, I'm barely getting off work at that time now. So I still have time to unwind, shit like that. So I've started not to become a morning person. And to be honest with you, I hate it. I hate that shit.
And sometimes I get mad because I'm like, why the fuck am I up?
On the
like,
weekends and
I'm like,
shit,
come on, like, please, I know because the thing is that then my body, like, at the end of the day, it'll fucking be like 10 p.m. and I'm like, fuck, why am I so tired? I'm like, oh yeah, because I woke up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like, and when I can sleep in, it's just like my body automatically just fucking like
Get up.
Shit.
If I wake up early,
What about that one?
when I fucking wake up early, which I usually do now, like my fucking time clock, my biological clock, whatever you want to call it, I get up like right at 5 a.m. And I set my alarm for 6 because I want to wake up at 6, but I fucking every day, even on the weekends. And so I get up and I fucking slowly get out of bed. Don't want to wake up my kids because I know if I wake them up, they're gonna want something.
Oh, hell's gonna run
So I just
loose.
fucking go close the door to all the rooms, go to the fucking living room,
Turn on the
turn on
Xbox.
the
trying to fart
PlayStation,
quiet.
turn on the PS5 and like try to play a game or fucking watch a show or something that I don't normally get to watch because everybody else is hogging shit. It's tough. It's tough. But then they wake up. My daughter will hear me. She can fucking hear a pin drop, I swear.
Yeah.
She just
Daddy's that you?
yeah.
She's just like in the movies and it's like,
Exactly.
nice. It's like,
Daddy, I want Pop-Tart, or Daddy, I want chocolate milk. And it's like, I'm just kidding.
Let's see. Any coffee or like what when you take time for you guys selves, what do you guys like to do?
Smoke weed.
yeah. I'm not a coffee person, but I do smoke
Mm-hmm.
all day, every day.
Same.
My cousin needs it to like go to sleep and stuff and relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, I can't, man. Smoking would be nice. I get too paranoid with that, bro. Like, man, I don't know. Like, I used to when I was, younger. I used to be able to, but now, like, I'll get paranoid, be tripping out in my living room, bro. So yeah, I'm like, nah, that's not good. So yeah, I'm like Rome. I love coffee, bro. I'll try different kinds.
Yeah.
Here we have Black Rifle Company was started, I think, somewhere here in Utah, and their fucking coffees are great, man. I always try them. They're like veterans that started some coffee company. So
I've heard of
Chingo go get coffee there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you and Chino Bling be going up there? Then?
that's right.
All the Trump supporters be going up
I brought it up because I have some light little underground beef with Chingo Bling, just because of his political views.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another.
Two things. Okay, when you go to like say Vegas or Nevada or something, Wendover, which is 2 hours away or something, those joints actually they taste pretty good. Well, yeah, it's a good high. It's not so bad.
Oh, like the weed there?
Yeah. And then what the fuck else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, cars. Let's go to cars. How many cars have you guys had? What was your first car like? Any car problems and shit? Because we're Mexican.
Bro.
Do we know how to fix cars?
Bro, I've never really been like a car guy where I'm like, oh, you know what, like I'll build one up. So I've always kind of gotten like whatever the fuck it is and shit.
Yeah.
Right now I'm not gonna lie, I got a 1999 Isuzu Trooper.
Fuck it.
And it's like my favorite car that I've had, like, because it's dope as fuck, and it gives me that 90s feel and shit. So
Throw some fucking 13 inches on that motherfucker.
Wow, baby.
Nah, but actually the stock one that it has still fucking, it's still alright.
Yeah, my dad put some subs in that fucking for you.
Might have to.
Microsoft subs.
Microsoft subs.
Microsoft stuff.
Yeah, my dad had a van called it Moco, and my dad was always known for playing loud music, and you can hear him coming down the block, And one day I hopped in his van, and this fucking crazy guy really had Microsoft computer speakers hooked up to his system.
Bumping up.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't enough tweeters in the front. I don't know.
We knew a guy who had a blender in his truck.
A blender in his fucking
Pick my ride type
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
And this was like in the late 90s, this fucking fool. And he put a blender in there, and he was my mom's like boyfriend / homeboy. And she was like, why the fuck would you put a blender? He goes, so I can make margaritas on the go. So what the
This
fuck?
fucking
That
guy.
almost sounds like fucking Pimp My Ride.
It really does.
It's like,
What the fuck?
Adam, favorite car?
Well, I'll tell you guys a funny story about how I got my first car taken away from me from my mom, bro. So I was driving an Eclipse that was my mom's, and I was taking to school and stuff. And first winter, bro, the first day that it snowed, I was like, I'm gonna be cool. I'll go to school straight, bro. As soon as I pulled out, there's a corner over here, and the cop lives right at the corner.
Oh yeah.
And his cop car was always right there at that corner spot, bro. As soon as I hit a brake to stop, the car just kept sliding. Boom, hit the cop car, man. My mom was so pissed. She had to get out of work, bro. The cop ran out. And yeah,
damage or not?
More to his car.
Okay.
Was he mad?
More to his car.
Because he was cool. Was he mad?
He was all right. Yeah, he wasn't too mad, but he ran out pretty quick. I thought about it. I'm like, damn, can I escape? But no, he ran the fuck out quick.
Is he still there?
No.
Oh,
he's not
okay.
there.
I can imagine being retired and shit now.
Yeah, after that, I couldn't drive the eclipse anymore, bro.
I bet your heart was fucking racing.
Yeah,
hit a cop car?
Bro, fuck.
That's some intense
My
shit.
mom at work too had to get her out. You know, a single mom had to fucking leave work.
Pissed.
Boy, I was so mad.
More scared about that.
How the hell you hit a parked car, bro? Like,
Yeah.
I think that only happens only where it snows, bro. Like if it snows, that's the only time.
I feel like growing up Latino, like when you get caught by the cops, like that was fearful, but when your parents don't know about it yet, and you start thinking, you're like, fuck that, don't tell my mom.
The fear
Don't
triggers.
tell my mom.
I wouldn't fear the police. I used to fear my parents.
Fuck
I'm like,
yeah,
fuck,
man.
you do whatever the fuck. Take me to jail right now.
Right.
Get me away from them.
The disappointment, you know what I mean? The ass whooping.
Yeah.
Oh,
All the
good.
above.
Good on that.
Man, shit. My first car, I know Sergeant Adel remember, it was the fucking GOAT, I called it. I got a Mustang, fucking 1990 Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
And
He thought he was a menace to society with that motherfucker.
that shit, we fucking rolled that shit till the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
But fuck, I remember when I bought it, so mom bought it for me, and your mom was with us.
Yeah.
And she was checking it out. So a shout out to my tia, she was checking it out for us.
Yeah.
She was like, well, make sure, Miko, that the oil's good, make sure there's no leaks. Like, she was going through it like she was a mechanic.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Man, she knows what to do." Like,
Yeah.
And so it all
She'll surprise you.
And Angelina is pretty sharp. When it
Yeah,
comes to
she
shit
really
like that.
is.
Like, she'll know. She'll
She's
take no
sharp.
shit.
So it passed the check. It passed her check, and we bought it for like $500, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And I fucking rode that shit like it was a goddamn derby car. I would race that shit whenever I could. We had a fucking... You remember those wars we used to have with everybody's cars?
Yeah.
So we'd fucking have wars where we'd bump our cars into other friends' cars and shit, like bumper cars. Dumb shit, bro. Stupid shit. And then we fucking started egging each other's cars, and we egged our homeboy. We already shouted him
Hence
out.
to why I shitted in that car. So you get a little vibe how he was.
So shout out to our boy Kevin Madrigal, who you already name dropped. We fucking egged his car. It was his dad's car. He drove this Chevy Impala. It's like 2001
remember that.
Impala. And we egged the shit out of it, right? And then we were trying to get the Eclipse. We were trying to get Adam's Eclipse, but it didn't go through. Adam had a fucking, I don't know, guard dog or some shit.
Do you remember the time?
I'll tell you what
Yeah,
Adam
good.
did. This motherfucker on that same Mustang, broad daylight in the summer when it's scorching hot, he fucking sprayed mustard all over the top of it, and he wrote "fuck you, bitch" it fucking burned.
The citrus.
The citrus from the mustard and the fucking heat burned through the
If
paint.
I would have known,
It burned through the paint.
man.
Now keep in mind, we're friends doing this to each other's cars. You feel
I might
me?
have went a little too far, bro.
Yeah.
If I would have known that shit was gonna happen,
Was it Darwin's car that we put the all the Cheetos in?
Yeah, we fucking put the Cheetos in a fucking can of eggs. Or no, a can of pickles, bro. We opened a can of pickles.
The pickles was my idea.
in his
Yeah.
car. I don't know why. We were dumb.
We got set up, remember, up in Paul's car, so we hit you guys up. We're like, hey, where you guys at? Like, let's stop the bullshit. And then
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, come McDonald's, we're just gonna grub, everything's gonna be cool. We fucking show up, and these guys fucking ambush us. Bunch of eggs, you just hear the car just like a fucking war zone. Doof, doof, doof. We're like, what the fuck is going on?
Getting fucking
Bro,
hit.
Paul's car was
Felt like two fucking
drive. At the drive-thru at McDonald's. You guys fucking, people were rolling out of every fucking corner, bro. That shit was crazy.
Anything like that with you, like paintball fights?
Fuck, bro.
Like,
Too many of them.
yeah.
Fucking
Just get one.
let's see. There was one. Fuck, it's because I can't even talk about it on this shit. Nah, man. There was a lot of shit. Fucking, we would get chased by cars because we wouldn't do it so much to each other.
Yeah.
But more like random people.
Random
And
people,
we would
yeah.
just fucking like, and it was always fun when we'd get chased.
Yeah.
Because these people wouldn't call the cops. They would like want to beat our ass.
Yeah,
So
right,
it's like,
right.
We're going on a crazy ass chase right now. And
just
it's
to
like,
get- Vigilante
It is.
vengeance, bro.
It's intense.
I know Serge's gonna remember this because speaking to that, so out here in Ogden, especially like cruising Washington Boulevard, that's like the main street through all of Ogden, right? That was like the thing to do. And so we had a homeboy who had this fucking Ford Probe, that turbo boosted Ford Probe, and we fucking kick it in that and street race and shit with everybody in the car.
The royal blue one?
Yeah, we brought eggs, bro. We brought some eggs and we were gonna egg some fucking whatever. We were just out on a fucking sick one, being bad kids. Tell me where we're parked. We're stopped at a stoplight on Washington Boulevard, downtown Ogden. Fucking this motherfucker right here has an egg. Okay, he's sitting in the passenger side. He goes outside the window like this. And there's a car full of girls next to us that are dressed like they're going to the club. And we're in high school. These bitches, they're old. Yeah. These females, my bad, they're old. He fucking lobs it like this. The egg goes over the car. The egg goes over the car and hits the passenger side top of the next car. Yeah. And the egg yolk like swung into her. Yeah. It like broke. And
it was destined. It was destined to hit her.
And the egg yolk swung and hit her in the face. Yeah. And she's like, what the fuck? And we just hit the fucking gas. Our homeboy.
We were scared as fuck because we was kids.
Yeah. And they chased us for a couple blocks, but the homeboy could drive and he just started cutting down different avenues and shit. Yeah, but we parked at Marshall White.
Chilled out for a minute until the shit got cool. But I mean, that egg yolk was destined for her.
It had to be.
That was God's choice.
It was
weird.
A fucking hook shot?
It was weird, bro. It was like...
And it got her right in the face,
Dr. J.
Yeah. You know when you got the good guardian and the bad guardian? My bad guardian was over there and he said...
It was a straight up Abdul-Jabbar hook shot.
Yeah, it really did just...
Bro, you think she probably got some in her mouth?
She had to have, huh?
Damn.
She had to have.
Let's go on most memorable or best performance or entertainment that you've seen. Could have been wrestling, could have been basketball, could have been
like live?
It could be any live performance that stands out in your mind.
Oh my God, I'll go first. I was at the Jordan's last shot.
Oh shit!
Finals game. Ooh,
heartbroken.
That's a memorable.
Historic. Traumatic.
He fucking pushed him. He fucking pushed him. But I mean, being there, how I got there, he's not really a cousin of mine, but he was close to the family, and I won't name drop just because of certain drama that's happened through the years. But his dad had tickets to the game. Well, he was hella sick that day. Hell sick, and we randomly got a call, and I was invited to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah, I'm going.
Yeah,
You guys know how much I love
NBA
sports
finals,
and
the Jazz. Yeah.
There.
Right.
And so we're there. You guys know what happened, and I just remember sitting in the seat. Not everybody had left, but people was already leaving, and it was just like, it was so heartbreaking. Right. Cause he pushed him. I watched it with my own fucking eyes. You know what I mean? You've seen his fingers roll off the top of his cheeks and everything. And that right there it's a tough one. I've been to a lot of concerts, a lot of good concerts. Mm-hmm. A lot of good concerts, but that one right there, I mean that's an iconic moment in sports. In history.
Man, do you remember that shit? How fucking live it was in Salt Lake City and all of Utah when the Jazz were in the finals. Like, and you was living out there.
I was already here.
Oh yeah,
I was already here.
Okay,
because we moved over here when I was 2 years old. So, I remember because fucking people were like. It was crazy, man. Like, every single house had, like, some sort of jazz decorations. Like, people were going, like, at halftime parading down the fucking...
The newspapers would give you the little fucking signs to support the jazz and shit. You know what I mean? And I was just telling them in the last episode, in the grocery stores and shit, they'd have the little fucking tent set up with all the merch.
Bro, every single restaurant I remember that we would go to, like... The whole restaurant was like together, fucking like watching jazz.
And that's where our passion came from. If I could show you my nipples right now, I'm getting this much. But that's where our passion for the jazz came. You know what I'm saying? That's where the passion for the jazz came.
True. And you know what's fucked up about that is I remember that game, right? That series. And that particular game, I remember because it was game 6, right? And I was like, the Jazz got to win this one.
Right.
They're going to go to Chicago. We can win it. We can win the championship. Because we lost the previous year.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad he told me, he's like, the Jazz will never win. They're going to lose, and they're going to lose bad because the Jazz won't win. I was so set. My heart was so set on a win, and then they lost, and I was like, I remember crying, bro. My aunt bought me, specifically myself and Roman, all the cousins, but she bought us some Jazz Cupcakes.
Yeah.
From Smith's.
Right.
Like, I'm not opening these until they win this game. And they lost, and I just sat there and just like, I can't open these because I promised I wouldn't open them.
Yeah, and keep in mind, back then, like right now, it's hip to like the Jazz.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a thing to like the Jazz. Back then,
everybody was on
especially because everybody was coming from different states at that time. It wasn't
it wasn't a cool thing to do. So we was kind of like our own little bond. If the little white homie was a Jazz fan, and you was repping the Lakers, bro, we might have some problems. We might have some problems.
Were we really the one that served Jordan a pizza for the flu game so he got sick from?
Oh yeah, you
that's what the legend is.
That's the documentary.
That's what the legend is.
Who was it? It was you?
No. It was
You said it was him. I was like,
I was like 9 years old.
With the wig on.
No, but yeah, like in Utah, they did that shit to him.
Yeah, because
Some poor sportsmanship shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, poisoned him.
Yeah, they poisoned him. Gave him food poisoning.
I believe that shit.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. You asked Belichick and them. You ain't winning.
Yeah, for me, I've been to, probably the best event I've been to was Mayweather Canelo fight.
Yeah.
I was a Canelo fan.
Dude.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, I was sad about the result, but
Yeah,
damn,
of
that
course.
fucking
That
week,
was
bro,
a
was so
masterpiece clinic.
fun.
Was you there the whole week?
Yeah, I was there from.
It was like Iron
Wednesday.
Horse week,
Yeah, I was there from like
The weigh-ins
Wednesday
and everything.
Yeah, the fucking weigh-in was hype. Like
Oh my
everything
God,
was just
I gotta
fucking
do that.
wild.
A fight
bro.
like that, you gotta go
Like,
the whole thing.
Yeah, you
Got
went
it.
through the whole thing, and yeah, I mean, of course, the fight wasn't even competitive, but like,
Right.
yeah, bro, that just the experience of being there was fucking
Right.
dope. Going to a Mayweather fight is dope in general, just
Yeah.
because he's fucking he's,
Oh, yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about Mayweather at that time? And did he win you over, or did you respect?
No,
him?
dude, I hated him.
These two hated Mayweather.
I hate him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I still don't like him. I mean, I acknowledge he's great, like you know.
Of course,
But-
of course.
He learned how to, I don't know, man. He figured out a loophole in boxing
Yeah.
and
He did.
shit, and it's like,
He did.
that's what it is.
Mayweather reminds me of Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul. You know what I mean? But as you guys know, and I won't play fake to it, but I hated Kobe Bryant.
Right.
I hated Kobe Bryant with a passion, but I respected his game just like Mayweather, because I don't fuck with Mayweather to this day. You know what I mean? I don't
And
fuck
we
with
love
Mayweather. To this,
Mayweather.
yeah, you guys do.
Because he was from
You
Vegas.
guys are local. It's a local thing,
He
you
was
know?
from Vegas, and then like Roman trained at his gym.
I seen him in person right
Yeah.
next to
Yeah.
me. If I had the courage enough to be like, hey, can I get a picture or something?
Yeah.
Just seeing him next to me.
Yeah,
Just
you needed me
shadowboxing.
with you. Yeah.
Dude, I smiled so hard, I just
Yeah.
walked away. Like, it was crazy. 50 was there too, but like
Yeah.
Mayweather was just
Right.
it was crazy.
And Vegas, you get to see shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The majority of my celebrities that I seen was in Caesar's Palace alone.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I met Mike Tyson there.
Right.
Just meeting Mike Tyson, and this is gonna go full round circle with you. Just meeting Mike Tyson
Yeah.
and getting to know him,
Mm-hmm.
that made him my favorite boxer ever
Yeah.
till this day.
No, yeah.
Till this day, Mike Tyson's still my favorite boxer ever because he treated me like a normal motherfucker.
That's
You
dope.
know what I mean?
Oh,
He
yeah.
seen me looking at him in Caesar's Palace. He was in the back room
Yeah.
where we're not even
Right.
allowed.
Yeah.
And he told his bodyguard, go and let him over here.
That's
You
dope.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And going full circle to him.
Yeah.
There was I didn't see no chance of me listening to Mexican rap again just because it was that loud mystical type shit.
Right.
But when I heard his flow, I was like, okay, this shit I can kind of
Yeah.
actually listen to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and that automatically, all right, that put that back into my music ears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when it comes to boxing. When Mexicans like boxing, they usually like to stick with the Mexican fighter,
Yeah.
you know. So it takes a lot for Mexican to say Mike Tyson's my favorite fighter.
I'm pretty sure Mike
You know?
Tyson seems like, hey, bring that Puerto Rican kid over here.
Yeah,
You see that little Puerto Rican kid? Bring him over here.
yeah, and he talks just like that.
Yeah.
He talks just like that. The crazy thing is he wasn't much taller than me.
No,
You know
right,
what I
yeah.
mean? He wasn't much taller. When
Yeah.
he shook my hand, it reminded me of my Uncle Tony.
Oh,
He
yeah.
fucking crushed my
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
But the thing about it, he was asking questions about me.
Oh my God.
You know, about me. You know what I mean?
it's
Like,
crazy seeing that guy now and like all the wisdom that he has, like
yeah.
throughout
So
the years
much
and
came.
stuff.
Right.
It's
So
like,
much
holy
came.
shit, man.
What type of kid were you when you were younger? Or did you change?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest. I was a bully. I think it was like kind of like a defense mechanism thing.
Yeah.
Because I've always been like a bigger dude,
Yeah,
bro.
right.
So
Yeah.
and I ended up like this is gonna be like some kind of like deep shit, but it's like
Yeah.
so it goes like, you know, with like family, it's like kind of like a chain effect and shit, you know. So it's like my older cousins, I'm the oldest out of my brothers, and so the way that people would act towards me, that's the way that I would act towards my brothers. And then like with my insecurities and shit like that they would tease me about,
Yeah.
it would fuck me up. So then even going to school, I started being like that.
Yeah.
Until I started getting checked like by homies and being that they would tell me like, you know what, bro, like I don't even like being around you because you're just talking shit. Like
Right.
it's like you're pushing it too much, you know, that it's
Yeah.
not even fun.
Yeah.
And I started realizing, I was like, fuck. And it got to the point, bro, that I even like talked to my brothers and I apologized to them.
Right
I was
on.
like, you know what, like
Right.
I fucked up as a kid, like, and I'm sorry that, you know, we had to go through this shit. I was like, but I want to make it right now and I want to change that shit, you know. So, but yeah, man, I mean, growing up, like I was always like kind and shit like that. I just, you know, for some reason I felt like that was the good thing to do. Is like, you know, exactly. And then like, you know, you grow insecure and like have these insecurities that the easy thing is to just like, fucking deflect it, to somebody else. Exactly. You don't give them the chance before, you know. So yeah, and it like, you know, with hip hop, that's probably why I loved it so much, because it was, I can talk my shit and I could, you know, I could do that, you know. But it's like, it's different, man. Once you grow up, and then like I think about it, like I don't have kids right now, but it's like, fuck, I'd beat the shit out of whatever kid acted like me, you know, towards my kid. Like, you know, it's like, you don't want that shit to go. And I guess it's like breaking those cycles. You know, when you're a kid, you don't understand it. But if you can catch that shit with your own kids, like, while they're young, like, just let them know, man. Like, you know, let them know what's up.
Bro, that's so true. Right? Yeah. That's so true. Because, like, as an older brother, right? Because I'm an older brother, too. And an older cousin, I was the second oldest in our family. And the oldest is, like, way older than us. So he didn't really, like, kick it with us. He was like there for us to protect us when we needed it or whatever, but he didn't like kick it with us. But I was kicking it with them and like S and all those stuff like that. But I felt like I had to be so hard. Like I had to be so rough on them because I was the older brother, I was the older cousin and stuff like that. And so there were some times where I reflect, I'm like, damn, I was a little bit too hard or pushed them a little bit too far to try to make them tough and stuff like that. So I completely relate to where you're coming from. And I had to come into Jesus moment with my brother here a couple of times, because when we were younger, like we'd fight and I'd fuck him up because I was bigger than him, and I thought it was making him tougher. But you know, little did I know, like I'm his older brother. I'm like the closest thing to a father sometimes that we had, and I was fucking abusing him. You know what I mean? But the mindset I thought at the time was like, oh, I'm making him tough. But I was like, nah, I'm breaking that. Like it was, I'm breaking that bond. You know what I mean? I'm fucking up that bond, that relationship that we had. And then shit, as he got older, he started fucking me up because he started learning how to box and shit. But you know, but I respect what you're saying because it's true, and I think it's just years of trauma and shit like that we went through, even just mentally, from older people inflicting that on us, and so we felt like, okay, we gotta do that to somebody else.
Or expectation of being a man.
That expectation was warped. Yep. Yeah. So we thought we had to be this and you know, aggressive and tough and stuff. But then you look back and you're like, nah, we didn't need to do that. So when I see my son do some shit that I think is like bully or I think is too macho or something like that, I check him, bro. And his mom gets mad at me sometimes, but I straight check him like he's a man. And she's like, don't talk to him like he's a grown ass. But I got to. Because if I don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it. You know, he's a single son.
Somebody does do it, then
it's not gonna be and I'm not gonna whoop his ass. Like somebody might just beat his ass to the point where, you know, because they don't respect him because how he's acting or whatever. Right. You know what I mean? So I do gotta check him. So when I see shit like that in him that I know is coming either from me or whatever, I'm like, no, I gotta snub that. I gotta, you know, I gotta trim that branch before it grows into a full grown fucking producing fruit and shit that's of a bad nature, you know what I mean? So
it's a fine line too though, because you one of the biggest things for a kid is confidence too. So you don't want to strip that away from him either, you know. You want him to be confident. You want to make sure that he's feeling good when he's going to school so that, you know, he can be his best self as well. So having
those conversations, you know, I remember like with my parents, because they would see it, and especially with my brothers, since it was like 4 boys growing up at the house, they would tell me that, and it wouldn't hit me until like later on, but it was like, do you really want your brothers to grow up not being nothing like you? Because I'd get pissed off, like, oh, don't copy me, don't do this shit, don't do that. And it's like, no, like at the end, once I got older, I'm like, fuck, why not? Like, it's just, exactly. I'm like, that should make me feel good, you know. But it's different, man. It's shit that you would like have to go through those, you know, I guess, stages in your life to be able to like learn and actually appreciate what it is. It just sucks that when you're a kid, you don't get that like right away, you know, because there's different types of personalities and shit. Some kids are just naturally like that, right? You know, some kid, you know, it's different. Like I don't know. It's about talking with them, I guess. And for me, what worked out, like I said, is being open like that, you know, with my parents being able to talk about it, and then growing up and understanding that shit's fucked up. I think that's important too. Like, understanding it and accepting it.
And that you have time to change, because sometimes people will be like, just fall out.
Exactly.
Just leave it at that.
Or they just don't get to it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's so true. It just reminded me of, so I told Roman about this, and this was like, when we filmed the last podcast with Paul, so me, Adam, and Paul on. Yeah. So we went out that night after we got done filming, and we was partying and shit like that. And I ended up getting an Uber home late at night. The Uber driver, I was talking to him, and it was a female transition to be a man, right? And I thought it was a gay guy the whole time. But then we started talking, getting each other's story because it was a long drive home, and she had it, or he, I don't want to mess up the pronouns, but had it confided in me that she transitioned because her brother was abusive to her. her brother was abusive to her. So she told me, she's like, so I figured if I became a man, nobody would ever treat me like that again.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had a good like conversation with her, and she gave me like her card and her Instagram and shit like that to get out, or him again, don't fuck it up, but to get in touch, because she was like, I really appreciate that you listened to me and you didn't judge me, you like just responded to what I was telling you and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm never here to judge. I'm just here to like, if I have some experience that relates to your experience, I'll share that because it might help you.
The thing about us is we won't judge. We'll joke about it.
Right.
Like we're weird friends like that. We'll joke about it, but we won't judge. Like we have a Muslim friend, and I always joke about, you know what I mean, pulled pork sandwiches and shit. You know what I mean? Like we'll joke about it, but you know what I mean, that ain't our intentions. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, man. I feel like, you know, the same way. Like I accept everybody for how they are, you know, and I'm, you know, every single person, you know, they have the right to do whatever the hell they want to do, as long as everybody else is, you know, not getting hurt or anything, like, you know, then it's okay. But yeah, man, I feel like, you know, having a sense of humor about things, like for me at least, that's what makes me feel better, you know, because I get it, you know, we all have our, you know, our differences, and sometimes that's funny. The differences are funny. And for some other people, our differences, what we do is funny to them. Like, and it's not bad. Like, it's really not a bad thing. Sometimes, you know, some people are sensitive, and then again, some people have gone through things that we haven't gone through. So, you know, they have their way of saying things. But to me, with humor, man, like I don't know. It makes me feel like that's what actually keeps the world going.
It's my escape. You know, I don't know if you've seen my episode 7, but I'm a recovering addict from meth. You know, and my drug court counselor used to trip out because I would joke about the life, and she'd be like tripping out, but she didn't know me. You know what I mean? And like my humor towards it. That's just the way I act towards it. And then you got the Fools Gone Wild page where I can relate to what they're talking about. You know what I mean? The scante this and you know what I mean, being on a sick one. Like I can relate to that shit because I lived it. You know what I mean? And I thought it was funny. And I still laugh about it till this day, even though that shit wasn't a funny situation for my life. But you guys know that I've always been a humorous type person. So the humor is what kind of, I guess I'm kind of like Robin Williams. I hope my story don't end like his. You know, but I'm kind of like Robin Williams. You know, you would have never thought that Robin Williams was hurting inside. Because he found humor to keep going.
I think Serge is, I think you're pretty good about doing that. Like, I've been with you in a bunch of different surroundings, different places, and you do find that humor. Like, have you ever, like, I don't know, has it ever gone the wrong way in some of those situations? Because I mean, I've seen you joke around with people that we don't even fucking know, and like it's humor is one of those things where you got to like know the person. Or I mean, you know, you got to get a feel for them. But you push the line quite a bit, and it's funny as fuck. Like I love being around you because of that, because you're fun to be around. But like, has that ever, you know, maybe
there's
been it wrong?
Yeah, there's been, and to be honest with you, it's never been around people that like I've been around that know me. As you know, I've been around the African American culture a lot. Like more than my culture. The only time that I was around my culture is when I listened to the Chicano rap music. That was it. But I've always been around the black culture. So at that time, like everyone that I grew up with, just like what's common now, I'd say the N-word a lot. And when I get around them till this day, I still say it. Well, one time when I was at work with my homeboy, I'm a name drop, my homeboy Reggie, I had been like, man, that is hard. He was listening to some rap music, you know? And he looked at me, he goes, what? I was like, what? You know what I mean? And we're smoking. It's our lunch break. We're smoking. I'm like, what? And he's like, what did you just say? And I was like, oh, shit. My fault. You know what I mean? I was like, my bad, bro. I didn't mean
You didn't realize he even said that?
Yeah. I didn't even realize it. That's why I was like, what are you talking about? You know? And I was like, oh, shit, my bad, bro. You don't, you know what I mean? Like that. And that's no excuse because you don't know me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't grow up with you, so I shouldn't have crossed them boundaries. You feel me? But, like, other than that, man, like, no, you know, I've never really had no other problems. Like I keep pushing it. I'm not disrespectful. Like that was disrespectful to him. But like to the point where I'm like talking about your mom or talking about who you are as a person, you know, like it was never nothing like that. You guys know, just some joking around type shit.
You know, man, and to get into that subject a little bit about saying like that word and like hip hop, because it's like, especially like for Hispanics, you know, like, you know, for us, like, I went to Job Corps for like about a year, in Texas. And so it was a lot of, you know, African American homies that I grew up with and stuff.
Oh shit!
And so it was kind of different growing up there, you know, because I don't know, Job Corps in a way, it's kind of, I don't want to say like jail, but it's fucking like, they put it like separate like that. And so it's kind of like, oh, the black people, you know, kick it with the black people, brown people kick it with the brown people.
Like you're doing time.
You know, it's kind of weird. So that respect of not saying that word, like, you know, and the thing is that it was so loosely like thrown around when we were younger that it's like, even for me, it like got stuck in my head and I would say it. When I started writing music and I started, you know, like getting into it, I promised myself I would never do that. I was like, I'm not gonna say that word. I was like, especially if I can choose to not say it, like I'm writing this. Why wouldn't I put something else instead of that, you know? And so I encourage, like, even with my homies and stuff like that, like I encourage them, like, you know, not to do it. But at the end, it's like, you're also, a product of your, you know, of your community. So it's true. Like, whatever you grow up with, like, that's what it's going to be. And some people don't get upset about it. Some people do, you know, but it's like I choose not to do it.
My gente gets more upset about it than the black community does. They do, and I'm just telling them, like, hey, if I would have grew up around cholos, then that's would have been what I would have been portraying. You know, but just because I was around the African American community, I mean, hey, you know what I mean? If you was to talk to me on my phone when I get into my little African, you know what I mean? Because I don't care what nobody says. If you grew up around that, you got the slang. You could talk like it. You know, and when I get around them, that gets going. And now that I'm older, I catch it and I'm like, oh shit, I need to chill back. I don't want them to think like I'm like some Malibu Most Wanted type shit. You know what I mean? But that's when I'm around black people that didn't grow up with me. Yeah. You know what I mean? They probably look at me like this motherfucker, you know what I mean? Trying to act like you know what I mean? Like and that type of shit.
I don't even say it and I could say it. I don't say it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't use it anymore. I used to use it a lot. I used to use it a lot. You know what I mean?
In the past.
I could technically give you the Creature McQueen. I'm going to name drop the Creature McQueen gave me the opportunity to give you the pass.
It's a funny story I just thought about. I don't know if you were there, but speaking onto like how we speak, right? Especially like in Utah, like we speak a little bit proper because when we grew up or whatever, right? I remember our sister has a different dad. His brother or his sister and her boyfriend came to visit her, and I was at grandma's house and we were just chilling in the fucking kitchen, and this just goes to like the separation between like Utah Hispanics and like Cali Hispanics, right? Well, I was talking to Al, who's my grandma's husband, and I was just talking like I normally do, right? And the dude's like sitting there and he's sipping, he's drinking a beer, and he's like, "Let me ask you something, homie. Do they teach you to talk white out here or what?" And I was like, oh shit, like this is just how I talk, bro. But it tripped him out because he was sitting there like listening and he just kicks back. He's like, "Let me talk to you real quick."
I'm sure we can all go into that mode, but I don't know. To me, it's like.
But that's how they are, though. That's how they are, right? Like when I watch Fools Gone Wild and pages like that and shit, I'm like, that's just how they are. They've never been separated from that culture. Yeah. That's how they grew up. That's what their life is.
And that's like the OG. That's like the OG. But now the young ones like, "What's up, my boy? How you doing?" You know, it's like it's different.
With the Edgar haircuts.
Yeah. It's
over here, like I don't know. We talk like with mountains. We say mountains.
Yeah.
Like later. You know, it's different. You know, we got our little things. I love Utah though. Like. They can say whatever, fucking, you know, talk how they want. I like the way we talk here, you know. It's
pretty. I like that.
Yeah. Right.
We got Gloco. Yeah. Gloco has a vibe of his own. I've told Rome this too. I was like, I feel like the way you flow is how you are as a person. You know what I mean? Where like a lot of people because I used to rap and shit, you know, didn't take it serious and stuff, but like a lot of rappers would change how they spoke to flow like a certain way. But like your cadence and like the way you come about yourself is like sitting here with you. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the exact dude I'm listening to. That's the exact person I'm hearing. You know what I mean? It's just amplified or whatever, you know. Yeah. But I like that, and same with your homeboy Lalo Lucas. Shout out to him, and then other people I've listened to. I can't remember the names of everybody, but people I've listened to on that Pura Vida, and that's dope, bro. I think that's cool movement you guys are doing. You know, producing good music and stuff. Oh yeah, Rocky. I've met Rocky a couple times through S. Shout out to him. And stuff like that, but it's cool. Keep doing what you guys are doing, bro. Oh yeah, and pushing each other.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
Thank you once again, man. Yeah, thank you once again. This is big for us because like the guests that we've had are people that we grew up with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so you are our actual first guest. Yeah,
man. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm honored. Fucking you know, like I said, I started listening to you guys and I was like, damn, this is pretty dope. There's a couple of other podcasts, you know, like you know, even some family members and stuff, and I'm like, you know what, man, like. I don't know, build yourself up to get comfortable. But you guys were comfortable, like it was dope. So I was like, hell yeah, you know what? Like I'd be down, and I'm glad, like I said, now we're here actually.
Fuck yeah,
kicking it.
Hell yeah.
I enjoyed it.
We'll have to do it again for sure.
For sure. Yeah, thank you guys.